All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 420 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller, and today we're going to talk some Georgia Southern. I've been all over the Atlanta Falcons for the past few days or so, whatnot, but we're going to jump back into the Georgia Southern Eagles. These guys, the coaching staff, Coach Clay Helton, and company, whoever you want to call it, they always find a way to make things whole when you try to get one person that you hire, they move on to other places and filling in spots. Right now, I'm gonna say he's 3 for 3 because once you look at what with TJ Woods and you look at BJ Johnson, now we got running backs coach Taylor Reed has been hired. We're going to talk about what we have here and what does it mean for Georgia Southern going forward. If this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. This show is also brought to you by BetUS. The link down in the description will give you access to a 125% bet book bonus. If you put down $100, you can bet on the upcoming NFC and AFC championship game. You can bet on any of these NBA games. You also have college basketball. I think MMA, you have some boxing, you got esports. You have everything under the umbrella to actually put some wages on. And like I said, you basically double your money just by going in and clicking that button and putting down $100. Get a 125% bet book bonus. So why not do it? It helps out the channel and it helps you as well if you play responsibly, obviously. So hit that link. Also, there's other ways to support. There's other ways that you, like I said, other ways you can support. Just hit the link down in the description. Every little bit helps. I really, really would appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Taylor Reed, he has some experience at Power 5 programs, has been named running backs coach for Georgia Southern. Coach Clay Helton does it again. We're going to talk about this guy's resume, what he's been doing prior to getting to Statesboro. First and foremost, he was, in the last 2 seasons, he was at the University of Illinois. And if you want to know anything about the Illini, well, we're just going to get into that. This is really interesting because you really look at what the Illini have done in the running game. It probably was put under the radar. Not too many people know, but their running back that they had, Chase Brown, was one of the nation leading rushers at 1643. That's how many yards he had, 1,643 yards. He had 10 touchdowns. And also, this was the only team in the country with a 1,500-yard rusher, and also with a receiver with 80 catches. So not only this guy's going to be the running back coach, he was also the offensive analyst in 2022. So he has a wide range of knowledge when it comes to just the offense. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be doing running backs, but I'm pretty sure he's going to bring some type of tidbits or whatever to Brian Ellis or anyone else who wants any help on the offensive side of the ball. Most of these guys, they basically work together when it comes to this entire, thing, from the offensive line coach, obviously with the offensive line coach, to the running backs coach. You also look at quarterbacks and the receivers, all these guys from, Taylor Reed to BJ Johnson. You're going to have TJ Woods. You're also going to have Coach Thurman. You're going to have a Brian Ellis. You're going to have a collective of guys pretty much, trying to keep the status quo of what this offense has been doing. Now, we've been passing more. So what does that make up for the running back? So we're going to look at some more of what he's done prior to coming to Statesboro, and I'm going to let you know what it means for the running backs in general. So before the 2 years he was at Illinois, previous to that, he was at 2 seasons at Auburn as an offensive graduate assistant, primarily working with wide receivers and helping Auburn to the Citrus Bowl and the Outback Bowl. He also coached under Brett Bielema at Arkansas in 2016 to 2017, working with the quarterbacks. Like I said, this guy, he's the running back coach, but he seemed like he has a pretty good offensive mind, getting all of this knowledge from other places on the offense. So I get it. You gotta be, pretty much hands-on with the running backs. If he's going to be the running back coach, kind of similar to what Matt Merritt was doing prior to him leaving. But when you look at what this guy has done as being, an offensive analyst and helping Chase Brown, being one of the top leaders in rushing yards, and doing what and also with the quarterback there throwing for over 2,600 yards. I understand some people may look at this and be like, well, what is going to do with the running backs? He has a lot of knowledge going all over the place on the offense. So even though the running backs may not just be pigeonholed into a running back coach, he can show these guys other things that they may not be able to see, because as a coach, he can show, hey, you may want to look for this when you see that on offense. So you may want to look at that when you see this on offense. It kind of spreads out a little bit more knowledge that he can give to the running backs. Now, also with that, he was with the Razorbacks after being at Central Arkansas. Hold on. He joined the Razorbacks after Letternett in Central Arkansas at quarterback. So he was a quarterback at Central Arkansas. He threw for 1809, 14 touchdowns, and in 23 games over 3 seasons. He began his college career in 2011 at Memphis. So he has a pretty good, wide range of things. Like, I'm not sure completely what this means, like, considerably just for the running backs, but just looking at this guy's resume, you could probably put him anywhere on the offense, and he's going to be able to give you some knowledge. I mean, you gotta understand, he worked with quarterbacks at Arkansas. He also helped coach Austin Allen, SEC top passer in 2016. He threw for 3,400 plus yards and 2,200 yards in SEC play for a total of 25 touchdowns. I mean, he's been all over. So what does this mean really for the running backs? Like I said, I think he's going to be able to give these running backs extra, knowledge from what he knows. I think he's going to be really good for the running backs, with especially like what he's done with Illinois, helping them be one of the top leading rushers. Also having that other knowledge around the other areas at the offensive side of the ball. Now, a lot of people was going to look at this and think like, okay, with him being a running backs coach, what does this mean for the running game? I think the running game is going to continue to be just as good. I mean, when you have guys like Jalen White, O.J. Arnold, and what's the other guy that we have? Goodness, I can't remember his name. Tyler Jordan, and oh man, it just crossed my mind. I can't remember. I might have to look at the roster and find out who's that other running back we just got recently. I'm gonna look it up right now. Sorry for the delay, but nevertheless, when you have guys like that are just as talented, that can run the ball and be really good at it, you're going to do very well with what you have. Terrence Gibbs, that's what it is. Terrence Gibbs. When you have a guy like that as well, these guys that's gonna be able to do some things, with this type of offense. A lot of these guys are probably going to be stretched out a little bit, especially O.J. Arnold. Another thing that a lot of people don't really understand, that Jalen White can catch out the backfield as well. So you're really seeing a total, you're really seeing a total difference in what this offense is going to be doing. We're going to run the ball. Don't get it twisted. But the way we run the ball is not what Georgia Southern is going to be now. I mean, we're going to be mainly pass first. And you've seen what it did with us with Cal Van Treese and company. Now, what I will say is this, from what I've been reading and going back to look at this, it kind of gives me an enigma to like, what are we going to be doing with, the running backs? Because really the only pure running back coaching job he had was with, Central Arkansas back in 2018. Everything else was offensive analyst, all these and other things that he was graduate assistant, other things that he's been doing, which, is not a bad thing at all. It's just that when you look at what we're doing, it's like you kind of see a shift where the running backs coach, I think he's going to be just fine. It's just that you've seen all the other things that he was able to do. It's just not, I would just put it like this. I'll be really interested to see where this goes, because from what I'm looking at, he's bringing a lot to the table outside of just running back. Like I said, when I said it again, he was under Brett Bielema working with quarterbacks. He was a 2 season at Auburn as a graduate assistant, working with wide receivers and working with the wide receivers. I'm sorry. when he did get the offensive analyst position in with Illini, what I was just saying, the Illinois Illini, when he got them, I mean, you had one of the top nation, the top rushers in the nation. So he's doing some things right here. Even when you look at Auburn and you look at Arkansas, and when you look at all these other things that he's been doing, it's been some form of success. It's not like whatever that he touched was not a situation where it was not very successful, especially when he was just leaving the situation with Illinois. I think this is definitely a step up for him, leaving the offensive analyst job, to being a running backs coach. It is a step up, and I think with his knowledge is really going to give us a lot of it's going to be a lot of variety of what you're going to see. I from what I'm seeing with this resume, I think that I ain't gonna say I think it's going to be interesting to see what he does with the running backs. Because to me, I'm not sure if my thing is, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to just bring it to the table, just running back knowledge, because he has so much other knowledge. What does this do for the running backs? Like I said, they're going to be able to learn some things while running the ball, things that they may not be able to see elsewhere. You learn about shifts and movement with, the way that the offense have been running with, with what his knowledge and what he's been able to, do at other places, working with quarterbacks, working with receivers, especially with the receiver thing. Now you're going to be, I think before I close, I will say this, because I know I've probably been all over the place because his resume is all over the place, and that's not a bad thing. I think O.J. Arnold and Jalen White, more O.J. Arnold, will really thrive from this, because you're talking about a guy who worked with wide receivers and was able to get guys in space, learning how to work with wide receivers and learning how to, basically run the ball very well. That sets up perfectly for O.J. Arnold. Jalen White can catch out the backfield too, so it's going to be fairly simple. I mean, it's going to be fairly, I ain't gonna say simple, so I don't know what I'm talking about there. It's gonna be very interesting to see how this plays out, because you got some athletes. You got some really good athletes at running back. From, like I said, from the Gibbs. The only three that I remember, I know Tyler Jordan's probably gonna be back. A.J. Brown, that's another one. It's probably gonna be back. So you got like 5 running backs that actually can do some things. So it's gonna be really interesting. To me, I don't know how to pin this down. Obviously you can tell about, what I've been talking about for the past 10, 15 minutes. I don't know how to pin this down, because I don't think it's a bad hire, but looking at what this guy is bringing to the table, he has a lot of knowledge. So I can see in some cases, if you was to move him to another position as a positions coach, it would not, you probably wouldn't miss a thing. You probably wouldn't. Now you got a running backs coach that can, work with quarterbacks and receivers. That's really, really valuable in my opinion. And also he was at 3 Power 5 programs. You look at Arkansas, you look at Illinois, you look at Auburn. These are 3 places, especially being in the SEC. So he saw all tons of talent back from 2016, 2018, being at Central Arkansas as running backs coach, which I don't see too much of the on the resume that's showing here. Not much what has happened in 2018 as running backs coach. That's something I would like to know. Maybe I should be able to pull that up and see what they did before I get out of here, because I want to get something. I want to get something pinned down when it comes to what their stats was like and what they were able to do. Let's see. Central Arkansas was slightly over 500. Let's see. Let's look at the schedule. I want to see what kind of running game they had, or whatever the case may be. And let's see statistics. I'm on the fly doing this, so please bear with me. Had 2 guys rush for over 600 yards. One running back ran for 951 yards. The other one ran for 649. 10 touchdowns for running back Hale. And the other one, James ran for 649 with 3 touchdowns. So fairly solid numbers at Central Arkansas. So you're going to have more of an opportunity to do more with what you got here, with what's going on. You're going to have more of an opportunity, to have better, bigger numbers, especially with the talent that you have here at Georgia Southern. You got mainly probably 2 to 3 running backs that can rush for 1,000 yards if you really want to be the bell cow. But like I said, we're more passing first, so we're going to really see how that plays out. I've said enough. I've done enough rambling. Congratulations to Taylor Reed. There's a lot going on with you, and it's not a bad thing because you have a lot of knowledge. You've done a lot within the last 7, 8 years being, a coach. That's really phenomenal, actually, all the things you've done. So that's pretty awesome. Can't wait to see what you're able to put together for our running backs at Georgia Southern. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Taylor Reed, is this a yay or a nay for you guys? Are you a little bit concerned because he's done so much on the offensive side of the ball? Or are you hyped about this because he's done so much on this side of the ball? Me, you kind of know where I stand. I am really interested to see what he's going to do with the running backs because he's done so much. But I think to have somebody with this wide range of knowledge is not just, a running backs coach. He's just not an offensive analyst. This guy's worked with receivers and quarterbacks. So that's really, really interesting. Just bringing that knowledge to the table. Really want to see how that goes. So I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, also Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. Click that link down in the description. There are other links that you can check out if you want to help support the show, whether it be through Cash App, PayPal, or any other way you want to. Also, click that link for BetUS if you want to put wagers on these upcoming games that you will see throughout that website on BetUS. I really appreciate the support. You guys are awesome. I'm going to get up out of here. I got to get things going for today. And I want you guys to take it easy. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the support. I'll see you guys on the next one. Y'all take it easy and y'all be blessed. Peace.